What up, guys? Alchemist here, and I got something nice for you. I know it's been a while since I dropped a Destiny freaking build video. I know I've been playing other games and stuff, okay? But I'm still part of the community. I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm still part of the community. If y'all want to see like actual like Destiny content from me, let me know. But I wanted to drop this video of a build with Master Fealty because I was looking online. I ain't gonna lie, I seen a lot of builds that was kind of lackluster with Master Fealty. A lot of people trying to force prismatic with it and kind of ignoring how good Stasis subclass really is with its own build of Stasis. And I want to showcase you guys my Stasis build that I think is very powerful than other builds that I've done seen online, and I want to bring you along with me. Okay, so first off, Master Fealty, if people don't know, the perk is no factor. Withering Blade hits and bounces, create a small stasis crystal and refund a portion of melee energy. So literally when you throw the ice shuriken, literally you can bounce off walls, off the ground, anything, it creates a tiny small ice crystal on the ground, and every time it do a bounce you get some melee energy back. And then using Withering Blade to shatter crystals or frozen target, release a spread of Withering Blades. Things like release like 4 in square formation, whatever, spreading out, and those blades that hit the walls as well bounce and create ice crystals. Okay, and you get a lot of melee energy back from it as well. Now I want to go into the subclass and what we rocking with this build. So off bat, Gamerless dodge. You need to dodge to get your melee back quicker. Doesn't matter what jump you rock. Of course, Withering Blade. We are using Cold Snap Grenade. I see a lot of people using Dust Field Grenade and Glacial Grenade, but Cold Snap is the best option for this build to be very destructive with freezing everything and having ice and shatter everywhere and bouncing off, creating even more small crystals. Cold Snap is the best option here because hunters have an aspect called Touch of Winter. Your Glacier, Dust Field, and Cold Snap grenades have enhanced functionalities. With Cold Snap grenade, the Seekers duplicate after freezing a target and create a stasis crystal on detonation. So whenever your Cold Snap hit an enemy, it will freeze that target, leave an ice crystal there, but then split into 2 other ice seekers and Cold Snap seekers and try to find any other opponents, enemies in the area and freeze them, and will keep the loop going like twice and then it'll stop. If the Cold Snap grenade don't hit anything, wherever it disappears at, it will leave an ice crystal there as well, which is perfect setup for you to throw your Withering Blade at the small ice crystal, which breaks it, make it break into other Withering Blades to bounce off the wall and hit the enemies in the area. We got Grim Harvest on, so whenever we do kill frozen enemies or slowed enemies, it creates stasis shards. Stasis shards give us melee energy so we can spam more Withering Blades. So that's why we got this aspect on instead of the shades that want to give us our class ability back quicker. Because we're not really here for the class ability spam, because we're gonna be getting our shurikens back very quick. We ain't gonna really need our shade step to be uptime 100%. We can easily shade step, get our melee back when we need to, and continue our loop as smooth as possible, and class ability be back by the time we need it anyway. Fragments we're using. This was a very hard choice. I played around for a very long time, but I promise you these are the best fragments on, and I'm gonna go over the ones that's like kind of overkill and you don't need them. So we're using Whisper Shards. So whenever we break a stasis crystal, we get 500% buff to our grenade recharge cooldown. So this helps us get our Cold Snap grenades very quick because we're going to be breaking ice crystals non-stop. We got Whisper Rhyme, making that Frost Armor go to ×8 instead of ×5, which goes up to like 32.5% damage reduction, I believe. And make that Frost Armor stay on longer, so longer survivability with the damage resist. We got on Whisper Chain, defeating targets while you have Frost Armor has a chance to create stasis shards. So some people don't know, Touch of Winter, not Touch of Winter, Grim Harvest, all aspects that's like this on Titan and Warlock, where you make stasis shards from slowing frozen targets, there's a cooldown on it. After you make 6 shards, you gotta wait 10 seconds before you can start making shards again. With Whisper Chains, there's no cooldown on Whisper Chains, making that you can make infinite stasis shards as long as you keep killing enemies while you have frost armor on. So this is why I have Whisper Chain on, so you can make abundant stasis shards without having to wait a cooldown. It's very necessary, okay? We got Whisper Conduction. When you're doing harder content, you're not gonna have time to run and pick up every goddamn shard on the ground, okay? You're just not. So it's way better to have Whisper Conduction on so that you can just have the shards go to you, giving your Withering Blades back quicker, and to give you a free buff for resilience and intellect. Last but not least, we got Whisper Fissures, which increase the shatter damage, range, and damage. Kind of need that because that's all you're gonna be doing with stasis build, freezing and shattering everything. Now the shards that I had a time thinking about was Whisper Hedron, drastically increase weapon stability, weapon aim assist, weapon and airborne effectiveness, mobility, resilience, and recovery after freezing a target with stasis. And the buff you get from resilience, mobility, and recovery is huge. It's like things like 50. It's a huge number. It's kind of ridiculous, right? I was thinking about this hard, but I wanted the build to truly focus on the exotic itself, so I left this one alone. If you don't have an issue going to pick up your shards, then you can easily replace that with this, okay? Of course, in lower end content. Harder end content, you gotta keep conduction on. You would not have time to run pick up every shard you kill from frozen enemies and stuff. Another one that I looked at too was Whisper Refraction. Defeating slow or frozen targets grants you class ability energy. I left this one alone because hunters get our class ability pretty quick from just having high mobility. But also too, in the artifact, there's a perk in the last column that says when you pick up stasis shards, you also get class ability now. So for this season, I have no reason to have this on to get my class ability back quick. Maybe in later seasons when the season is done with, then you can contemplate on having this one on if you feel like you need your class ability to come back quicker for your shurikens. But I still don't believe you need this. The two fragment that was overkill is the fragment that makes it that picking up stasis shards give you more melee energy. Yeah, this one. Just make your strength go down by 20, but increase the amount you get from picking up stasis shards. I thought this was overkill, and you don't actually need this one on, so I don't recommend it. And then another one is Impetus. Impetus is very good. Not Impetus, I'm tweaking. The one where you're taking damage. Torment. This one really good. When you take damage from enemies, it gives you grenade energy. If you stack this with the other fragment that give you a faster cooldown your grenade, you get your grenades back very quick. But I noticed it was overkill and I was getting my grenade back quick enough already from Whisper of Shards, so I didn't need it on. But again, if you have no issue running to pick up your shards, then I will highly recommend put it on Whisper of Torment so you can spam your cold snap grenades as often as possible. Weapons, I chose Burglar's Curve simply because Burglar's Curve, whenever you kill enemies, you can shoot a stasis shard out, stasis crystals out, and then you can throw your shuriken at them stasis crystals you just made, and then based on the master fealty, when you destroy a stasis crystal, they break apart into more withering blades. And yeah, you just keep doing shatter damage in the whole area. They bounce off the wall, make even more small crystals, and you shoot those, keep doing shatter damage. So it's a really good combo to keep rallying off of. And because the catalyst on Verse Curve, freezing or slowing a target grants this weapon faster draw time for a short period of time. So you get to shoot really quick with this bow when doing said thing. I got Arcane Embrace. Reason being, and this is the unique one with Trench Barrel. If you don't have the unique one with Trench Barrel, you cannot do this combo. But whenever you do a melee attack, this weapon gain increased damage handling and reload speed for a short duration or until 3 shots are fired. But right now, this gun is bugged where when you activate Trench Barrel, even if you shoot the 3 shots, Trench Barrel do not go away, and you're able to shoot during the 5 seconds that Trench Barrel's on all day with this weapon until the 5 seconds are up, getting that bonus damage. Withering Blade counts as a successful melee. It do not have to be a melee punch, it just need to be a successful melee. Since Withering Blade is a ranged melee, you can utilize it by throwing a melee at somebody, freezing them, and then you got Trench Barrel activated and you start shooting with this shotgun doing insane damage. Just gotta make sure you have the shotgun in your hand to make sure that Trench Barrel activated. Really strong gun. If you don't prefer this shotgun, then I recommend any weapon from Crota's End in your energy slot, because the perk with Crota End weapons is when you get a melee kill, right? After defeating a target for melee attack, final blows of this weapon cause targets to explode for a short duration. So if you got something like Word or Crota, some crap in your energy slot that you love using, you can use that on this build, throw a Withering Blade at an enemy, kill them, because you're trying to throw your Withering Blades at frozen enemies to kill them, to cause the chain reaction to happen with the Withering Blade bouncing off the wall and everything. Do that, your Word of Crota will have Cursed Thrall explosions happening for that short duration. Then any enemy you shoot, they do a Cursed Thrall explosion. That explosion will cause the stasis crystals and stuff in the area to blow up, causing even more shatter damage and explosions. So any Word of Crota, any Crota's End weapon in your energy slot will work in this situation, or Arcane Embrace, or another weapon that got Trench Barrel that you love using. I prefer this one because it's a slug shotgun, so I get to keep my distance as well. If you don't like using Vergil's Curve, you can use Wicked Implement. And if you're using Wicked Implement with the Catalyst, you do not need to have on Whisper of Conduction, because Wicked Implement Catalyst already attract shards to you. So this would be a free fragment slot for you if you prefer Wicked Implement as your preferred exotic stasis choice. I've seen a lot of people using Salvation's Grip. Me personally, I don't want to use that as my heavy, but that is another choice you can use for your exotic. But I got the Chill Inhibitor because it does insane damage. Highly recommend bait and switch on yours. If you haven't got a bait and switch one already, go far in the dungeon for it. First encounter, cheese it, keep doing it over and over again. But yeah, highly recommend Chill Inhibitor. Fragments, we're rocking Heavy Ammo Finder for our Chill Inhibitor. We got Harmonic Siphon for our stasis weapon kills for orbs. And we got on hands on because we will be spamming melee kills with our Ice Shurikens. Arm piece, we got 2 heavy-handed, so we can create orbs from us killing enemies with our shurikens, since we will be throwing those a lot and bouncing off enemies. Doesn't matter what you got in your chest piece, you can put on any resistance mods. I put on a harmonic reserve so I can have more ammo for my Chill Inhibitor. But yeah, chest armor mods is kind of open and free to you. Lead piece, I put on innovation so I can get my grenades quicker from picking up orbs on the ground, so I can spam more cold snaps. You want to put on a stasis weapon search if you're using stasis weapons, and I put on recuperation to pick up health. Shards give you health as well, picking them up, but they don't give enough as much as you want it to. So I put on recuperation, but you can also put on better already if you feel like stasis shards give you enough health, and you just get orbs to make your health recovery go up quicker. And then last but not least, I have on bomber, so whenever I use my shade step, I get some grenade energy. Time dilation, so I can have my stasis surge on longer. And I put on final recovery because my armor don't have enough recovery for this build that I prefer. But yeah, stats you want to go for: 100 resilience always. Don't play about that. You're playing PvE. Always have 100 resilience, and you want to try to have 100 strength. Other than that, all your other stats don't really matter. Try to get your discipline as high as possible so you can spam more cold snaps. But other than that, yeah, 100 resilience, 100 strength, and then as high as you can with your discipline, so you have more grenades. And then of course as a hunter, you already gonna have mobility in your army anyway. We know this, okay? Artifact, you want to make sure in your artifact you're rocking anti-barrier shotgun so that you can handle all champions. Vergil's Curve and your shurikens already do slow and free, so that handle overloads and they'll handle unstoppable. So you need to have something for anti-barriers. So anti-shotgun is what I'm rocking, but you also can run anti-barrier if you're using like a stasis scout rifle. Wicked Implement do not work with anti-barrier scout rifle because it already does slow and free, so it handles overload and unstoppable champions. So based on how the coding of the game is, Bungie do not allow it to do all 3 barrier stuns. All 3 champion stuns. So you cannot use anti-barrier with Wicked Implement. Keep that in mind. It will have to be a different scout rifle if you want to use anti-barrier. The main perks you want to have is rapid impact, because you will be using a grenade launcher. Well, that's what I'm using, the stasis grenade launcher. You want to make sure you have one with frost. So when you have frost armor, stasis weapons increase reload speed and stability. You want to make sure you have one wind chill, so when you get rapid hits, grant you frost armor with a stasis weapon. And then you want to make sure you have one crystalline converter, so when you're picking up stasis shards, which you're going to be doing a lot, your next power stasis melee will create stasis crystals based on the stats you have. The more stasis crystals you make, the more crystals you can break with your shurikens to make the chaos continue to process, and then every stasis crystal you destroy give you the uptime on your grenade quicker to 500%. That's what you want to have. Armor Aramis, where you have frost armor. If you get low health, it does a giant stasis burst around you. It's kind of crazy how big it is. It really is. Pause. When you get damaged, you got frost armor and red health, it does a giant frost burst, whatever, and it frees all the enemies around you. It's kind of sick, to be honest. You want to make sure you have hailstorm on, so whenever you shattering stasis crystals, it shoot out ice shards that slow enemies. That does stack with your massive fealty. So now when you destroying the crystal, it's sending slow out and the actual withering blaze out. So most of the time, all the enemies in the area get frozen most of the time. You want to make sure you have on concussive reload, so when you're using your chill inhibitor, your weakening bosses and champions and stuff, easier to kill them very quick. And you want to make sure you have brain freeze on, so whenever you free the combatant, they put like a dust field around the enemy that's frozen, and any enemy that's near them gets slowed and frozen. So it's very good for zone controlling. Serve code, this is the only thing I could pick in the last column that's actually useful, since this perk right here is bugged and this one doesn't help us out, help our teammates out. Serve code, make it that when you pick up stasis shards, you get class ability energy. So that help you get your shade stuff back quicker. That's about it. I'm gonna show you guys gameplay in the background, me doing a low sector or whatever. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this build. Very strong. I just got done using the Grandmaster with my clan. This is amazing. I'm happy we finally got a stasis exotic for hunters that's actually very destructive and not just us throwing a dust field grenade for resistance. Even though I do like Renewal's Grasp as a exotic, I wanted something more ad control-y, and this gave me the power fantasy I wanted. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love you guys, appreciate you guys always, and until next time, stay up.